Okay, today we're putting a Solomon SNS Pilot Sport Classic binding onto this new Manchester skate, which has a plate for NNN bindings, and this is the same as pretty much any binding. The difference with Solomon is that, can you just film a little further away? It has this plate which gets screwed down onto your ski, and then afterwards you've got to clip the binding into it. It'll be here, and then you put down the two final screws, which keep the binding from sliding back and forth. And the reason it needs this is because of the second clip that's going to be on your boot. There's going to be more tension on the back, whereas a regular binding, all of the force is at the front. That's why it has only those three screws that are all it really needs to keep the ski attached to your boot. So the first thing to do is get the middle point of your ski. You can balance it on a pencil, or these ones are marked. And then make sure that you have your plate facing the right way, because you don't want to put your bindings on backwards. And I made a little pencil line, or the little marker on the middle point, and then I do the same thing here, so I know where I need to line up, which is there. So these let you. Sometimes there's a spot that opens where you can mark where the plate's going to go, but there isn't on these. So you mark them up, make sure they're centered and straight all the way back. And then the plate sticks out here. So you make a line going across down to the ski. So now you take your plate off and line it up with those marks you just made. Just double check it's the right orientation, because it's going to slide backwards onto your plate. So now you take your drill, make sure you got the right size drill bit and screws, which I put here, and the screws will come in the plate and they have different lengths. So the one on the back and the front are longer. Then there's two at the front that are longer than the back one, looks like. So make sure you keep those, and then put some tape in there so you don't go all the way through your ski. And make sure it's lined up. Oh. Most of the time, you can probably still use the NNN bindings. If you decide to take them off, you'll just have some holes. You should plug them up so you don't get water inside your ski. Anything weird, but you can still use them. You can still switch back afterwards. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to drill this one in to make sure. That makes it easier to line up the rest of the holes when I drill them, and then it's going to be in the same spot. Same thing here. And you don't want to push this down too far with your screw, because there has to be enough room for the binding to clip in around it. this too much. Line it up and slide it on. Looks like that screw's sticking out. You just want to make sure that they're all... Oh, this is what's in the way. You want to make sure they actually are all going to hook in. Otherwise, your binding might come flying off in a race, coming down a hill, which I've seen happen. And so on this clip, there's this angle. So when it slides in, this closes. So as you slide it back, it tightens the binding down. And same thing here. There's that little angle. So that makes sure that it's on tight and it doesn't go anywhere. And then also, these grooves mark where the binding should line up. So this one's got to go back a little bit more still. Just use one of these screws. There we go. So then this all the way in. And you just have to do those two screws. And you don't want to go too deep because the inside of the ski is just a honeycomb of carbon fiber and whatever else. So it's really easy to strip. And then this has got this little cover with little arrows on it to show you which way it goes. And you just push it on and sort of stretch it over the other side. And then to get it off, you just pry it out with a screwdriver and do the opposite. And that's done.